Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Tocco.
We are bright-eyed today, let me tell you. It is wonderful to see it. I have a very important question to ask you because it sets the stage for the whole day. It certainly sets the stage for our time together. I'm very curious. I'd like to know, how do you feel? Oh, with some feeling. How do you feel?
Terrific!
Oh, that's the spirit. That's the spirit. Now, let me ask you this. Who has the most control over you and how you feel?
We do?
Yes. Are you sure it's not your parents?
No. Yeah.
Are you sure it's not the television set?
Yes.
Are you sure it's not your teacher?
Yes.
You mean to tell me that if you decide you want to feel good anytime you want, you have the right to do that?
Yes.
You're right. You are absolutely right. What is Mr. Tocco's number one reason for being with you these 5 weeks? The number one reason. It is to encourage you to seek always, today, tomorrow, and the rest of your life, what the Greeks call, everybody together? Arete, which means, together, to become the best possible you compared to no one else. Or let's say it one more time in that bulldog, strong voice now. It's to become the best possible you compared to no one else. You betcha. And remember the key there. The key is not comparing yourself with other people. Because my young friends, every day you're changing. Every day you're getting better. And if you see somebody that's better than you are at anything else, whether it's math or sports, science, drawing, whatever it is, every day you're getting better. And someday you may be better than them. So it's important not to compare yourself with other people. Just work on becoming the best possible person that you can become. This is a powerful awareness that a lot of adults aren't even familiar with. And many people are frustrated with their lives because they're busy comparing themselves to other people. What is your number one power?
To choose.
That's right. It's to choose. Let's say it together. It is to choose. And we're always making choices, aren't we?
Yes.
Every day, all day long, we're making choices. If we want to make what kind of choices? What's the best kind of choice to make? What are the best kind of choices to make? If we're going to be the best self we can be, the best choice to make are positive choices, aren't they? Absolutely, the positive choices. What is your number one ability?
To think.
The ability to think. Now you're sitting there right now and you're thinking. I can see it. I can see the wheels turning. You guys are doing great today. You're really tuned in. Mr. Tocco likes that when you're tuned in and when you're really thinking. And I'll tell you something else about today. Today is going to be so exciting. In a little while, we're going to talk about one of the most exciting things in life that I know about. I mean, it is going to be such an exciting day. But for any change to occur, for you to get better at whatever you want to do, for you to get better, smarter, happier, you have got to think for yourself. And you know why it's so hard sometimes? You know why it's so hard sometimes to think for ourselves? Anybody got an idea on that? Anybody got any thoughts? Yes, what do you think?
Because maybe it's hard.
It is hard. It is hard. It's easier to ask somebody else, isn't it? Isn't it easier, rather than think for yourself, to look at your friend and say, well, let's see, Lisa did that, or my mom said this, and my dad said that, and you have to listen to your moms and dads, but basically, when it comes to day-to-day, moment-to-moment things, the thinking has to be done by you, but you see, you have to take responsibility for your thoughts. Because you know what? If you're wrong, whose fault is it?
Yours.
That's right. And a lot of people don't want to admit to the fact that sometimes they can be wrong. Is there anything with being wrong?
No.
Not really. Because when you're wrong, you have a chance to discover, what really is right and what really does work. You know, if we can come back to this, we can see here that once you start thinking for yourself and you have to make an important decision, the best matrix in the whole world, matrix is a system, okay? It's a way to do something. The best way to do it is to really think it through by using the statement. Let's see if we know it by heart. Let's try it. Here we go. First comes a thought, which is followed by a word, leads to an action, character, results in this. Give yourself some appreciation. I tell you, that was excellent. That was excellent. Wow. Boy, they have really been doing their home opportunity. Oh, really been working on their home opportunity. You know, speaking of home opportunity, Mr. Tocco did have the occasion over the weekend to read your information that you wrote down about yourself. And I got to tell you, I had so much fun reading about you. What time you get up, what your favorite foods are, what your hobbies are, sports, favorite TV programs, how many brothers and sisters. Well, most of you guys got brothers and sisters. I only saw one with no brothers and sisters, like Mr. Tocco had no brothers and sisters. And so that's when I kind of like, my dog was like my sister. We were really like best friends. Her name was Duchess. Remember what Duchess did?
Yeah.
What'd she do? She ate my baseball glove. I tell you, it was a very, very thoughtless thing, wasn't it? She must have been pretty hungry. I'll bet she'd ate the whole thing if she'd had a little ketchup. So I was looking over these things that you guys had written down. And you know what I discovered? Things haven't changed that much since Mr. Tocco was in the 4th grade. Why, I was noticing here that somebody had as their favorite family members, their grandparents. Well, my grandparents are my favorite family members. Somebody had down here that they dislike spiders. Oh, let me tell you something. I can't stand spiders. They're so, you know, creepy, crawly. The thing is, you can't hear them coming. You know what I mean? I mean, they can like be right there next to you, and you know, you don't even know they got there, right? You say, how'd they get there? And sports. A lot of you into sports, which I really like to see that, because you know, competition is good. Good, healthy competition. You know what I'm saying? It makes you work at being better, whatever you're doing. But I see basketball. Somebody had basketball as their favorite sport, and that was my favorite sport. And you know what? It still is. Mr. Tocco plays every Thursday night, full court basketball. You believe that? Guy over 33 years old still playing full court? Not bad. Now, this was also very impressive. Chores, boy, just a wide variety of chores that you guys do. But somebody had to cut grass, do dishes, take out the garbage. I had to do that. You know, and I don't know if it's right for guys to have to do the dishes. But I had to do the dishes every night. But you know what? I conned myself into it. You know what that word is, con? I kind of like tricked I thought I was tricking my mom, because I used to have to go to bed. Who remembers what time? 9 o'clock. I used to have to go to bed at 9 o'clock. Well, one night it was about 9 o'clock. And I looked up at the clock and I thought, how can I stay up later? Well, so what I did is I said, Ma, it was a big, huge sink full of dishes. And I said, Ma, would you like me to do the dishes? Well, what do you think she said? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, are you kidding me? So I pulled this little ladder up because I was too short to stand up to the sink. So I pulled this ladder up, and I sat up on the ladder, and I did the dishes, and it looked like 35 minutes, you know. And boy, I thought, now that was smart. I got to stay up till 9:35, and then you know what happened the next day? My mother said, you know, you did such a nice job on the dishes. Would you do them again tonight? Well, I thought to myself, wait a minute, it's only 6 o'clock. There's no benefit to me at all. But I did them again because, well, I was kind of proud of that I did a real nice job. And then the job stuck. And I ended up doing the dishes every night till I was 18. I couldn't even go out and play. Here I was 16, 17 years old. I couldn't even go out and play until I got the dishes done. You know, gosh, I think I still have kind of dishwater hands. Anyway, chores. Good to see you guys doing those chores. Some of you described yourself as happy. Many of you describe yourself as happy, and I was really pleased to see that. Mr. Tocco was a pretty happy person when he was in the 4th grade, too. Still is. Favorite pastime? Now, someone had Battleship down there as their favorite pastime. Now, I didn't even know the game was still around. But I love Battleship. That's a great game. It's a little game you draw squares and use, fill it in with destroyers and battleships and PT boats and stuff like that. It's a good game. Grandpa and I used to play that all the time. I see somebody likes to get up at 6:30 and go to bed at 9, that was, where were they? All right, terrific, see? It's a good time. And a lot of you had down that you like school. I was so pleased to hear that. Because you know how important it is. Isn't it important? I mean, it's so important to learn. The process of learning is just a wonderful and terrific opportunity. Favorite day? Some of you had down their birthdays and Christmas. Yeah, that was my favorite day. Birthday, Christmas. Somebody had down 4th of July. Yeah, somebody had the 4th of July down as their favorite day there, which is pretty cool, fireworks and everything. Favorite season? Someone had fall. Well, I like the fall. That was my favorite season. And, gosh, you guys, I was so impressed at what you want to become. Boy, you had down there all kinds of things. Doctors and teachers and engineers and artists. And I got to tell you, it was great to see that nice variety. And somebody had down there as their favorite food, somebody had steak. Mr. Tocco, remember what Mr. Tocco's favorite food was? Who remembers? Ooh. How many like liver now? Anybody? No. You know what? Now my favorite food is steak. Steak and sushi. Sushi also. Now, one of the things we talked about last week was for you to consider all of the things that you can be thankful for. Now, could you take out your notes? Did you have an opportunity to write some things down?
Yes.
And I said, I bet nobody could outdo Mr. Tocco's gratitude list. All right, I think they're pretty proud. Look at this. Get this. Look at this. Oh, look at those happy faces. Whoa, look at these happy faces. They have been really working on things to be thankful for. Does anybody have a longer list than that?
How much you have?
That's 27 things. How many have more than 15? Put your hands way up high. You have more than 15? Do you have any down at all? No? Okay. Maybe can you work on that for next week? Okay, that's great. How many have more than 25? Come on, are you serious? Outstanding. How many have more than... Nobody's got more than 50. Does anybody have... No, you gotta be kidding me. I can't believe it. More than 50?
People got 100.
I got 100.
What?
106.
106, 115, how many?
136.
I have
87?
175.
135, you guys. Wow, am I proud of you. Wow, that is unbelievable. Well, let's, you know what? Here, I'll tell you what you do. Look at your notes, and I want you to pick 3 things, okay? Just three things that you're most grateful for. And then we're going to ask each person to tell us what you're most grateful for, okay? Now, honey, if anybody hasn't written this down, were they here last week? Okay. Okay. Does anybody not have anything down? Okay. Now, do you know what grateful is? Being thankful for something, like being able to go to school, and being able to see, and being able to hear, maybe be grateful for food, okay? So think right now, 3 things. Would you do that? 3 things that you can be thankful for. So we come to you, you can say 3 things. Like warm clothes in the winter, car, to be able to, I'm sure that most of you have driven around in a car, okay? Let's start right here. We'll start right, give me 3 things that you're thankful for. Good, okay? Shh. Go ahead. Clothes, houses, your house, and one more thing? Food, okay, good. Now you guys can, you can use the same thing. You don't have to, Okay, here we go. Yes. Just, okay, what do you have? Great, home opportunity is a good one, okay. How about you?
My teacher, my parents, and my sisters and
Oh, isn't that nice? You used persons, didn't you? You used people that you're thankful for. That's good. Okay, how about you, honey? A little louder? Why, thank you. Why, I was included in that. Isn't that nice? Thank you. Okay, yes, what do you have? Okay, good. So you use people also. Shelter and people are really important, aren't they? Sure, and learning, okay. What do you have?
Teacher, beds, and clothes.
Excellent, okay. Now you guys, the rest of you, now you might want to try something different because I know there's so many things to be thankful for. I mean, of course, you know what, I got those things too. You know, of course, my grandparents that passed away, but I still have their memory, right? You know, and I had my house down here, I'm thankful for my house. And vehicles, you know, cars to get around in, clothes. I'm thankful that I can pray. And that there's a God in the universe that listens to all of our prayers. To live in America? To laugh? How many like to laugh? Why, of course, look at that, sure. So you see, there's boundless things. I'm not surprised that some of you got over 25 or even 50. Okay, how about you? Yes.
Family, recyclers, and
Look at it, when you're drug-free, look at all these things. You get drug-free, you're thankful for the police, water. Look at the different, okay, let's try some different ones now. Yes, okay. How about you? Oh, yeah. You can use some of hers if you like.
God,
Uh-huh, good.
family, and teacher.
And teacher, good, okay. Now, of course, will you work on some of your own later on? Will you write some things down? Okay. What do you have?
My family, food, and food.
Yes, okay. Well, you see, you guys are so grateful for those basic needs. How about some other things? Yes, how about you?
Our world, our school, and our people.
Good, okay. How about you?
Books, schools, and teacher.
Yes, boy, look at that, okay. Can we have some different things now besides books and schools? Teacher, you know, it's so nice, and the teacher really appreciates that. You know, she must be really a good teacher to get all that, you know, recognition. Yes.
Church,
Good.
science, and Mr. Tocco.
Boy, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
For my brothers,
Good.
all the love that I get, and my family.
Terrific. See, that's wonderful. Okay, how about you?
My mom, my grandma Melly, and my uncle Bubba.
Good. So people are real important to you, aren't they? Yes.
My family, God, and you.
Oh, I thank you. Okay, yes.
My mom, my dad, you.
Oh, you guys are being too nice now. Come on, Mr. Tocco knows. That's real. Okay. Yes.
My parents, animals.
Animals. Good. Okay, great.
Mr. Tocco, the teacher, and my family.
Wow. You know what you guys have done? You are prioritizing. You are prioritizing. You are saying what is most important for you. That is terrific. Wow. Okay. Yes.
Family, a house, and being drug-free.
Great. Oh, I like those. Yes.
Jesus Christ, ability to think, and my life.
Woo! All right. Look at that. Yes, indeed. Hey, to be grateful for life, to be thankful for our lives. Yes. Can you give us a couple of things you're thankful for? Just off the top? Give it a shot. Great. Terrific. Okay, yes.
I'm thankful for being raised in Michigan.
Yeah.
Thankful
All right.
my family, God.
Yes, all right. Yeah, Michigan. Hey, all right. Yeah, Michigan. Great state. Don't we live in the greatest state in America?
Yes.
Why, absolutely. We've got 4 seasons. We've got lakes. We've got good sport teams most of the time. Yes. Okay. How about you? Any thought? Anything to be grateful for? Sunshine. Sunshine. Be one. Okay, say that. Say that. Sunshine. about flowers. You like flowers? Say that. Terrific. Okay. How about you?
My family.
Uh-huh.
My house.
Uh-huh.
And my food.
Good. Okay. All the basics, all the important stuff. All right. How about this young man? Great. Okay. How about you?
My house, my dog, my family.
Terrific. All right, guys, give yourselves some appreciation. Did a great job. I'll say that's great. Now, the reason we do this, let me tell you why we do a gratitude list. Now, you have a lot of things on there. Many have just, some have over 100 things, which is remarkable, okay? The reason we do this is, do you think life can be tough sometimes? You guys ever get sad?
Yes.
You ever get sad, maybe scared, maybe lonely? Okay? When that happens to you, that's the time to take out your gratitude list and notice how many things you have to be thankful for. And guess what, when you do that? Guess what will happen? You will feel better. I absolutely guarantee you will feel better. And then when you're doing this, are you not taking charge of your lives? Are you not then using your number one ability? Yes, you are. You're using number one ability. Because we can think ourselves right into the right frame of mind of feeling good. And we're feeling good. When we feel good, we're going to accomplish more things. My young friends, isn't it true that there are no grades in the real world?
Right.
Isn't that true? Your moms and dads, Mrs. Eichhorn, Mr. Richards, Mr. Tocco, Mr. Rusev, they don't get grades. There's no grades in the real world. But if there were, A would be for what?
Attitude.
Attitude. That's right. Attitude. But what is the most common thing we notice about people with a positive attitude? They're happy. They're happy. What do you see on their faces?
Smile.
Doggone right. See a smile more of it. Did anybody take the time to try to memorize the value of a smile? I didn't tell you to do it. I said that if you want to do it, you could do it. Okay, no takers on that. It's a tough one. I'll tell you what. It's a tough one. But Mr. Tocco memorized that a long time ago. You know why it's important to memorize something? Anybody take a guess? That's right. If you feel like it, you can remember it. And if it's important, then you always have it. I mean, how many would run around without memorizing their home phone number? Right? You guys know your home phone number. Okay. Now, there are no grades in the real world, but if there were, E would be for, everybody together? Enthusiasm. And who was known best for their enthusiasm that Mr. Tocco's talked about?
Don.
What's his name? He's a car salesman. What's his name?
Joe.
Joe. That's right.
Joe
Joe
Girard.
Girard. That's right. What did he do?
He sells cars.
He sold cars. How many cars did he sell a day? 6 a day. 6 a day. And what did he do every day? What did he do every day?
Pep talk.
Gave himself a pep talk. What do you say we give ourselves a Joe Girard pep talk right now? Here we go. Come on. I feel good. Everybody together. I feel good. I feel great. Look our world. I'm coming out one more time. Let me see you get those hands up there. I'm coming out one more time. Yeah. He got excited about his life. And because he was excited, other people got excited. And boy, they bought cars like crazy, didn't they? Oh, now today, my young friends, we got a wonderful program in store for you. It's going to, the material that we're going to discuss is going to take a lot of home opportunity effort on your part. It's going to take a lot. We're going to cover some of it now. We're going to talk about your future and setting goals and making plans. You see, a goal is something that who wants? Everybody right here?
You want.
That's right. A goal is something that you want. That's something you want to
To see, to feel, to have, to be, to experience.
That's right. That's right. A goal is something that gets us excited, and it's a plan for the future. And it has to be what? It has to be written. It's very important to be written down. A survey was taken a number of years ago by Mr. Garvey, and he did a survey of graduates of Harvard University. How many people have heard of Harvard University? It's a very prestigious university on the East Coast. And what he discovered when he interviewed these people that had graduated from Harvard, 10 years after graduation, the ones who had goals, which was only 3%, the ones who had goals written down were out earning the others 10 times. So let's say it another way. If you could get paid for doing a job $100, would it be better to get paid $100, or would it be better to get paid $1,000? $1,000. So the people from Harvard who had their goals written were making $1,000 for their job, as opposed to the 97% who did not have them written down. They were only making $100 for their job. So what do you think is better, to write goals down or not?
Write goals.
Write them down, absolutely. Now look at, here's what a goal is. All right, we'll read this together. A goal is to have a plan. A goal is to have a plan. A goal is a target. It's something to shoot for. Imagine, if you will, how many have heard of Grant Hill? Okay, who is he? He's a basketball player. Imagine Grant Hill comes onto the court, and there's a jump ball, and the ball goes to Grant Hill, and he starts to what? Dribble. He starts to dribble, and he races down the end of the court. He jumps up in the air, and he goes to shoot, but he doesn't let the ball go. You know why? Because someone took the rim away. Someone took the basket away. There's no basket. There's nothing to what? There's nothing to shoot at. So how is he going to know whether or not he scored? He has to have a what? He has to have a target. He has to have a target. And my young friends, our lives are exactly the same way. Where you're going to go in your life is going to be determined by the targets you have for yourself. What do you think of that? That's pretty exciting, isn't it? Well, I'll tell you what, that's really exciting. So we're going to talk about different areas in which you can have targets to shoot at. And a target has to have a measurable quantity. In other words, you have to know where the target's at roughly, right? And everything is not as simple as throwing a basketball into a net. So a goal, then, is measured by time and quantity. Why do you think? Now here's the big question. I'm going to ask you to do some serious thinking now. Why do you think that it's important to have time related to a goal? Anybody? Now remember, with Mr. Tocco, there's no right or wrong answers. You're not being graded on this, so feel free to go ahead and contribute your thoughts. Yes?
We need time to find our goal. What's it?
That's right. We need time to find our goal. Why else do we need time as it relates to your own goals?
Do you know what time it is?
That's exactly right. That's very good, honey. We know what time it is. We know about how much time we have left, right? I mean, let's say is this for an example. Do you think it would be realistic? And we're going to talk about realism also. You know, what is a potential, a true goal, and what is not, what is just a dream that is never possible. Mr. Tocco, what's his favorite sport? Basketball. Mr. Tocco is over 33. I love basketball. But do you think it makes any sense for Mr. Tocco to try out for the Pistons?
No.
No. That's not realistic, is it? For how many? For a lot of different reasons, right? Mr. Tocco is actually too old to play for the Pistons. He's also a little bit too short. And I'm pretty good, but I'm not good enough to play against Michael Jordan. Okay? Now, what if Mr. Tocco decided that he wanted to become a doctor? You think that's a realistic goal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could go to college, I could go back to college. I have enough what? I have enough time. I have enough time. So your goal has to do with how much time you have. And quantity and quality means that you have to measure the quantity or quality of the goal based on something that you can get your arms around. Let's see. How about as an example, in school, what's a goal that you can set, that you can measure how well you're doing every so often? Anybody? What do you think you can do in school that you can measure? What do you get every 3 or 4 months around here? 2 or 3 months? What do you get?
Cars.
You get a report card. Is that not a way of measuring? Okay. So as an example, just as an illustration, what might be a goal for you that you could set in school that you could use time and quantity? What goal could you have in school? Yes.
Work.
Yes. Home opportunity? What else?
Do your work in school.
Okay. And what will that result in? If you do your home opportunity, what will that result in?
A care.
Yes, well, it will that too. But it will result in a grade, won't it? So can you decide what your grades are going to be? If you do your home opportunity,
Straight A's.
very good. Would that be a goal? To try for straight A's? Why, that would be a goal. Sure it would. So what? Now how much time do you have to get straight A's this semester? You have it to win. What do you want to school?
Well, this time I think the next report card comes out in April, so they get about 8 weeks or so.
So you guys got about 8 weeks to improve your grades, and they know what their grades are now in the different subjects? Okay? So there would be an opportunity. You have April until your next report card, which would measure how you're doing in your classes. How many here think that they could actually improve their grades? Could I see you show hands? Wow. Congratulations. Does anybody think they cannot get better grades than they're getting right now? Does anybody think that? Okay, that's really good, because you know what? You can. Now, what's the key to this? The key is, what's the word? Action. The key is action. And what actions can you and I take? What actions can you take to get better grades? Do your home. What's the word? Home. Home opportunity is one. What else can you do? Do your work in school. What else? To think. Very good. What else? Study. Excellent. Yes. Listen. Very good. Okay. To choose, to make right choices. Guys, you're doing terrific. That is exactly right. Now this is where your home opportunity is going to come in, and you guys are going to have a lot of fun with this. Let me tell you about goals. Let me tell you a little bit more about goals. You have short-term goals and long-term goals. Okay? An example of a short-term goal would be that you can have a goal to study this afternoon to do your home opportunity when you get home, right? Let's talk about long-term goals. Would you like to hear a story about an executive? How many have heard of General Motors Corporation? Heard of General Motors Corporation? Very good. This is a true story about two men who worked at General Motors Corporation. One man was a personal friend of mine, and his name was Art Wisely. And we had lunch one day, and he said to me, now this is a story about you setting long-term goals like the man he's going to talk about, and whether or not they're realistic. He said, Don, when I first started at General Motors Corporation, I had a friend who started in the same 30 days, and our desks faced each other, and we were junior accountants for the corporation. And in the first 30 days, the person sitting across from me said, Art, someday I'm going to be the chairman of General Motors Corporation. And he said, well, he laughed and he said, well, if you can be the chairman, I'll be the president. But when he laughed, he noticed that the person who wanted to be the chairman of General Motors didn't laugh. Well, he was telling me the story He said, Don, it's been 38 years since that man said to me he wanted to be the chairman of this corporation. And he said, I think in 2 weeks it's going to happen. And my young friends, 2 weeks later, Roger B. Smith became the chairman of General Motors Corporation, which at the time had over 1 million employees. So here was a person who hired in as a junior accountant with the goal of becoming the top person in General Motors. And what did he do? He succeeded. Why do you think he succeeded? Because he had a goal. He had a goal. We're talking about long-term and short-term goals. We're going to break down the short-term goals and things that you can do over the next week or 2 or 3, which is a short-term goal. Let me give you another example of long-term. Would you like to hear just a story? A story about striving for something? Okay, guys, this is a little different kind of story. There were 2 men working on a railroad, and this takes place in about the year 1900, way back when. And what they were doing is they were driving big long spikes down into the, you know, railroad ties? You all seen railroad ties? They're the big wooden tie. Well, they had these big sledgehammers, and they were boom, boom, driving these big spikes into the tie. And it was out west in Arizona. It was really hot. And they had their shirts off. And one fellow was 19 years old. He's pretty young, right? The other guy was 63 years old. That's pretty old, right? He's quite a bit older. Well, the older fellow said, Frank, step back off the tracks. And they stepped off the tracks. And the reason they stepped off the tracks is there was a train coming way off in the distance. But the young fella, he didn't even know. But the old fella had been working this job so long, he could feel the ground vibrate, okay? A little bit. And he looked. And way off in the distance, they saw the train, the smoke coming out of the top. It was a steam engine. Puffs of smoke. And as the train got closer, it had a big black shiny engine and it had 3 orange passenger cars and a red caboose on the end. And as the train went by, these 2 fellas standing there resting in the hot Arizona sun, it was over 100 degrees. The older fellow looked up and he saw a man leaning on the railing of the caboose. He was a tall, distinguished man with gray hair. And he was wearing a beautiful suit, a dark suit. And he was leaning on the railing. Well, the older fellow looked up and he saw this man and he said, Charlie, Charlie. And the man in the train looked back, he said, Sam, Sam, it's good to see you. And the train went off in the distance. And the young fellow said to the older fellow, he said, hey, he said, Sam, who was that? The older fellow said, don't you know? That was the president of the railroad. Wow. He said, how do you know the president? He said, well, 40 years ago, he and I started working on the same job you and I are doing today. We started together pounding these old spikes down into the ties. And the young fellow said, really? He said, well, how come you're still doing the same job and he is the president? And the older fellow thought about it. He said, well, that thought has occurred to me over the years. He says, you know what? He says, I finally realized the answer. You see, 40 years ago, when we went to work for the railroad, I went to work for $2 a week. And he went to work to become president of the railroad. So you see, my young friends, here were 2 men. One was the president, and one was still doing the same job. But the president started his job. He took his job, even though it was a menial task of labor. He took that job with the dream of becoming the president. So, your future then is going to have a lot to do with the goals that you set and the dreams that you have. And the areas that we can set goals are in these 4 different areas: home, friends, health, and school. Now, what I'd like you to do is take out your notepads, and we're going to spend a little bit of time on doing exactly this. And let's start with, where do you think we should start in our 4 different areas? Do you think we should start with goals at home, school, friendship, or health?
For this goal?
Yeah.
Friendship.
Start with friendship. All right. Okay. Okay, guys. Now, you know what? Actually, we're only going to have the time to work on 2 of these, and Mr. Tocco is going to have you do some home opportunity. Why don't we start, when I think friendship is a great idea, but I think that would be more fun for you guys to work on that later on in class when you're just by yourselves. Why don't we start with some things, some goals that we can have in school, okay? What are some things that you would like to do in school, not just not just this week, but while you're in elementary school? What are some things you'd like to do while you're in school? Yes. Okay, put that down. Whoever wants to write that down as a goal, put that down. Good grades. Write that down. Now you can sit down on the floor if you want to. Okay, good grades. Well, what do you consider good grades? Do you consider A's good grades? Or do you consider B's good grades? Or do you consider C's good grades? Well, you put down what you want to have for your grades. What you want to have. Okay? If grades are important, you put down good grades. And then put down what you think good grades are. A's, B's, C's. Okay, now, also, what do you want to do in school? What would you like to do while you're in school here in the next 2 years? This year and the next 2 years, yes. What is it, Ike? Yes, okay, you can do that. But what I'm looking for is some of the things that you'd like to do. Do you have safety patrol here?
Yes.
Does anybody want to join the safety patrol? Okay. Why don't you put that down? Okay.
Start classes, like different classes, like language.
Good, okay, very good. Write that down. She wants to take a language class. Start a language class, okay? Safety patrol, language class. Do you have music in this school?
Yes.
What kind? Right in this room.
Even your band for 5th grade.
Really? Okay. How many like to play an instrument? Okay. Write down the instrument. What kind you want to play? Just go on to somebody. Okay. Yes. Pardon me? Drums. Okay. Flute. Okay. Write it down. Play an instrument. You're writing down your goals for school right now. These are goals for school, so later on we can, kind of go over this with them so that they're clear. Okay, goals for school. An instrument, play an instrument. Mr. Tocco played the trumpet. Had a lot of fun playing trumpet over the years. Okay, write down an instrument you want to play, if you want to play an instrument. Mr. Tocco was on the safety patrol. He was the captain of the safety patrol here at Harding Elementary School. Okay? Yes?
What do you want to do?
I'm sorry?
What do you want to do when you grow up?
Not yet. Not yet. We're doing things you want to do in school right now. The next we're working on now is short-term goals. Okay. What else would you like to do? How about sports? Sports. Anybody want to play sports?
Yes.
What do you want to play?
Basketball. Soccer.
Basketball, soccer, baseball. Write it down. You can help her with hers later. Sure, I know, I've had those days myself. Take a little nap, actually. Sports. Basketball, baseball, soccer, volleyball, football, tennis. Maybe you guys want to play, maybe you want to play tennis, you know, okay? Okay? To do. Okay? What about art? I saw a lot of you guys like to draw. Would you like to become better at art? Okay, write it down. Artists. Become better at art. Okay, now you can expand on this as you like about what you want to do in school. As far as actually doing things, taking different programs, music, playing sports, etc. Okay, now in school, what would you like to feel? How would you like to feel? Huh? You want to feel good, don't you? How would you like to feel? Terrific, good, I like it.
Excited.
Excited? Good, okay. Yes. Important. Yes, very good. If you want, yes. Great, terrific, okay. If you want to feel good, important, great, excited in school, you have to have goals. And you have to work toward achieving these objectives. So if you have them written down and you start working toward them and you start to accomplish these goals, my young friends, you will start getting excited. Okay, so write it down. How you want to feel in school. Write this down. I want to feel. Are you writing it down, honey? Write that down. Write down. I want to feel. Underline the word feel. About school. I want to feel about school. Actually, you want to feel about yourself, but while you're here at school, you want to feel, and write down what you want to feel. Important, good, great, excited. You write down how you want to feel. Now, this is your life.
I wrote down, I want to feel terrific about school.
Good, excellent, that's great. She wrote down, I want to feel terrific about school. Okay?
Excited.
Excited. Okay, you write down how you want to feel. Okay, does everybody have that down?
Yes.
All right. Now, if you want to feel terrific about school, you've got to follow through on your goals with some kind of action. So, how many had down there in school as a goal, they want to have better grades? Almost everybody. Okay, now, let's talk about, now let's write this down. What do you have to do to get better grades? Okay, because a goal means nothing if you don't take action, does it? Watch this. I'll give you an illustration. I'll give you an illustration. Okay, Mr. Tocco has a goal. My goal is a short-term goal. My goal is to get a sip of my coffee, which is right there. That's my goal. Just like you're writing down your goals, you want to get better grades. You want to start getting involved in different programs, right? Okay, now Mr. Tocco wants to get a sip of his coffee. That's my goal. Now what? Who's going to get it for me?
You.
That's right. If I really want it bad, I'm going to have to do what?
Get it yourself.
I'm going to have to get up off of my what? That's right. I got to get up and I got to go take some action to make it happen. Now, Wow, that was good. Yes, I'm sure glad I did that. That's called a short-term goal. Okay, now if you want to get better grades, what are some of the things you have to do? Write it down. Write it down. Do your home, what's the word? Okay, let's write it down. If you want to get better grades, if you really want it, you have got to do your, what's the best time of day to do your home opportunity?
After school.
That's right. How soon after school?
Right after.
Right after school. Because if you do it right after school, you will feel the accomplishment. Hey, you know what? You'll feel important. You'll feel great. You'll feel terrific because you got it done. Okay? All right, what else can we do to improve our grades? What else can we do here in school to get good grades? What else can we do?
Look how much room I have. More masks. Here.
Okay, we have to listen. Okay, write it down. We have to listen. Pay attention, right? Pay attention. I'm not telling you to pay attention. I'm saying you have to pay attention. Okay, what else? What else can you do to help you excel in school? It has to do with your, what's the best kind of attitude to have?
Positive.
Everybody together, it's to have a positive attitude. And what does a positive person say? They say, I want to, I can, and I will. A positive person says, I want to, I can, and I will. My young friends, if you want to get good grades, you have to say to yourself, I want to, I can, and I will. And that positive attitude will show in everything that you do. You'll not only get better at classes, you'll get better at everything that you do. All your extracurricular things. Well, you guys got some very good goals here at school. Okay, now let's go to one more area. Let's go to, and turn the page now. Turn the page, and let's write down goals that we can have at home. Running out of paper? Good. That's a very good sign. Okay, this is for goals at home. Okay, now at home, we want to be members of a family. My young friends, I want to give you a little lecture, if you will, if you don't mind. Okay, let's have your full and undivided attention right here. Harding Bulldogs, turn around. I need your full and undivided attention. This is Mr. Tocco's lecture for the day. You are a very important member of a family. Even if it's just you and your mom, or it's just you and your dad, or your mom and your dad, your brothers and sisters, you're a very important member of a family. A family means a unit, a team. Now, if you're going to be an important part of that team, you have to make a contribution to that team. You have to be willing to do things to make that team work. Now, your parents love you. Your moms and dads, or whomever you're being raised by, these people love you. Your teacher loves you. Mr. Tocco loves you. People care about you. They really care about you. And so, to be a better member of your family, you should be willing and eager to do things without being asked. You'll make your moms and dads so happy and so proud of you, and your grandparents and your aunts and your uncles and your teachers and your principal, if you're willing to do things at home to make yourself an important part of that family. So what I'd like you to do now is I would like you to write down some things that you can do in your homes that you're not necessarily doing now. I'd like you to write down some new things that you can do when you go home and not be asked, because if you do this, you will surprise your parents, you will shock them, you'll put smiles on their face, they'll wonder what's going on, and you'll be making yourself a very important part of your family. I want you to list some things that you can write as goals, some things that you can do at home to be a better member of your family. Let's have some ideas. Yes. Very good. Do chores. Like what kind of chores can you guys do? Dishes, somebody said. Write it down. Write it down. If you don't do dishes currently, I'll tell you what, Mr. Tocco was joking about having to do the dishes for 10 years. But you know what? It really made me feel good. Because I was part of it. I mean, I was doing something important. I was helping my mother. I used to cut the grass and rake the leaves and shovel the snow and go to the grocery store. You know what? When I was doing it, I didn't always like doing it because I wanted to play. How many would rather play than do chores? Of course. But, my young friends, if we're going to be important parts of our family, you have to be disciplined to do the right thing. Okay? Yes, what else can you do at home?
When you go home, read a book.
Yes, that's good. But I'm talking about how you can help your parents now. How you can go home and help your parents or your brothers or your sisters in some way that you can do something at home that's going to make you an important part of your family. What other ideas do we have?
I'll clean my room when I get home.
Okay, write it down. Clean your room. A goal is something, it's a commitment to yourself, and it's a commitment to other people. Yes?
Spend time with your family.
Pardon me?
Spend time with your family.
Spend time with them. Sure, very good. Okay, write it down. Yes.
Clean up after your pets.
Excellent. Clean up after your pets. Write it down. Okay. What else can you do? Right down here. Right down there at home. Okay. This is goals at home. Put down there goals at home. Yeah, very good. Very good. Okay. Goals at home. Clean your room. Do the dishes. Okay. What else can you do at home? Who else has something else that you can do at home?
Wash my dog.
Okay. Watch your dog. Wash your dog. Whichever the case. Sure. Okay. What else can you do? Yes. Love your parents. How do we show our parents we love them? Do things right. Okay, this would be a very good goal. Thank you. This is a very good goal. Why not tell your parents, when was the last time you told your mom or dad that you love them?
Last night.
Last night.
Last night? How many haven't told their parents in over a month that you love them? Anybody? That's great. Okay, why don't you write that down? Tell them tonight that you love them. Make that a goal. Because how will they feel when you tell them that?
Happy.
Oh, you'll make them very happy. Okay? Okay, write it down. Tell your parents you love them. Okay, I heard dishes. I heard, how about making your bed in the morning? You got that down? Okay. Put that down if you want, if you're willing to do that. Mr. Tocco, the first thing he does in the morning when he rolls out of bed, the very first thing, is he rolls out of bed onto his knees and says his morning prayers. Because you know what? I think life is a great gift, and I think it's a gift from God, and I'm excited to be here on the planet. So I thank God every day. And this morning I was praying for you guys. I said a prayer for you, that you would have a happy life and a productive life. Okay? The second thing Mr. Tocco does is he makes his bed. Because if you don't make your bed in the morning, you're kind of a slob when you leave, aren't you? So how about that? Can you do that? Make your bed? Okay. What else can you do? Yes.
Clean your closet.
Clean your closet. Okay, what else?
Give yourself a pep talk.
Give yourself a pep talk. You doggone sure you can. Because if you're excited and enthused, and your parents see that, they're going to appreciate that. Give yourself a pep talk. I like it. Okay. What else can you do at home? When it snows, what can you do?
Shovel the snow.
Shovel it, straighten up things.
That's right.
Shovel the snow.
That's right. You can shovel. Okay. Does anybody help? Yes.
Does that help people, because there's old people on my street?
Yes.
They don't get to shovel.
Yes.
So I shovel them.
Terrific. That'd be a wonderful thing to do, honey. Be a great thing to do. Just pick one old person, because you know you can't do the whole street right. Pick one old person, go do it for free. It's easy for me to say. Yes, indeed. We're still the charge, believe me. Okay. What else can you do at home? Yes. Watch your brothers and sisters. Can you help make dinner? Yes.
Run to the store for your parents.
Very good. Run to the store. Okay, guys, if this is something that you're willing to try to do, write it down, because Mr. Tocco is going to ask you. You know we have no class next week. That's correct, isn't it? There's no class. Pardon me?
Winter break.
Okay. You guys have no class next week, so Mr. Tocco is going to be checking to see what you do for the next, the next 10 days. Actually, well, it's actually going to be 13 days, 14 days if you count today. So I'm going to ask you to report on what you've been doing at home. Because to say you're going to do something and not do it is bad for your character, isn't it?
Yeah.
You want to have good characters? You say you're going to do something, you got to go into action. Okay? What else can you do? Can you help vacuum?
Yeah.
Okay, if you want to do that, write it down. Obviously, you're probably not going to do all these things. I want you to pick 2 or 3 things that you're going to do that you haven't done, and I want you to do them for the next 2 weeks and tell me what happens at home if your parents don't really appreciate you and thank you for it. Okay, what else can you do? You can, what else? Yep. Excellent. Yes. Sweep the floor. Yes. Share more. Whoa. Wonderful. Parents love that when we're willing to share more. What else? Set the table. Set the table. Very good. Yes.
Watch your puppies.
Watch the animals. Watch the pets. Watch them. Watch them clean up after them. Clean up what they do outside. Okay, guys. See, my young friends, when you do these things, you are becoming leaders. You are becoming young leaders. You are taking charge of your lives. You know why? Oh, what about this? What about saying please and thank you? And saying yes? How many here, when their parents, when they say, will you do this? How many go, yeah? You go, yeah? Do you think it should be yeah or yes? Yes. Let's try that. Let's try yes. Let's try saying. Write it down if you're willing to do that at home. When your parents say, please do something, go, yes. Wow, you will blow their mind. You will blow their mind. How about when your teacher says something, I want you to start practicing this just for 2 weeks. Yes. What about please?
Yes.
Thank you. How many say please and thank you? Okay? Always, always, no matter who you're talking to, always say please and thank you, no matter who is helping you with something or who you're asking to do something. If it's each other, would you please? Would you please? Yes, thank you. Gosh, you guys are just terrific. Fantastic. Okay, some things that you can do at home. Now, Mr. Tocco is going to check back and see how that goes in 2 weeks. Mr. Tocco has a goal for himself. That's to go to Florida on Thursday and play some tennis and basketball and lift some weights and do a little boating. Would it be okay?
Yeah.
Yes. Say yes. Okay. All right, those are some things that we can do in school, at home, that are goals. Now, need your help.
Okay.
We need to have goals for health, and we need to have goals for friendship. Okay? As far as health, the goals should be to see, to feel, to have, okay? Sure. In the area of health, you want to be what? You want to be healthy, right? How do you do that? You be strong. Got to eat the right foods. Not eat certain foods. How about drugs? No drugs, no tobacco, no alcohol, no marijuana. All that stuff will damage your brain. If you damage your brain, you put yourself at a great disadvantage in life. So we want you to write down some things that you to do. Okay, write this, take a different page. Because this is even, this is, you can write a lot of goals down for health. Put down goals for health. Write that down. Can you write that down?
We don't have any other paper, so we're gonna write it down.
Okay, great. Right, use the back of the page. Write it down. Goals for health. for health. How many want to have all their teeth when they become an adult? Great idea. Great idea. You know what? There's a lot of people that reach Mr. Tocco's age that don't have all their teeth. How do you have all your teeth?
Brush your teeth.
Brush and floss. Okay? If you like that as a goal, write it down. Have all your teeth. So if you're going to have a nice smile, you're going to be smiling all the time. It's nice to have a few teeth in your face. Okay? The goal is, have your teeth. The action step is to brush and floss every day. How often should you brush and floss?
Every day.
Every day.
3 times a day.
Yeah, more than once a day if you like. More than once a day. Twice a day, 3 times a day. Uh-huh.
Don't do drugs.
That's right. Don't do drugs, okay? If you want to have healthy body, strong, you want to be strong? You guys all want to be strong?
Yes.
Okay? You have to work out.
I do.
Exercise. You have to exercise. Jog. Mr. Tocco. Jogs, plays basketball, right? Lifts weights. Stretches every day. Have not missed a day of exercise. Now get this, guys. You're going to love this. Have not missed a day of exercise since 1982. Except when my grandmother passed away 5 years ago, and I decided that I would not exercise that day in honor of her. But I have set a goal to exercise every day. And by exercising every day, Mr. Tocco has been able to stay the same weight. Same weight. You know, you ever hear people talk about going on a diet? Yeah. Well, if you don't gain weight, you don't have to go on a diet. Right? You stay the same weight. Decide what weight you want to stay at, make it a goal, and stay there. Same weight, gained about 4 pounds since I graduated from high school. It's not too bad. I wear the same color, wear the same size clothes. I almost said I wear the same clothes, but actually I bought a couple new suits since I graduated. Now, whose choice is it to do these things?
Ours. Ours.
Mr. Tocco cares about you, but you know what? If you don't want to do this, if you don't want to do any of these things, whose fault is it?
Ours.
You think I'm going to lose any sleep?
Nope.
Can't lose sleep. That's not good for you, is it? Huh? It's not good to lose sleep. What else can you do for health? Sleep. Get lots of rest. Put that down. Get your 8 hours or 9 hours or whatever you need. Your beauty rest.
A little extra sometimes too.
Yeah. Yeah. Take a nap. Sort of take a nap once in a while. Okay, well, maybe you can work with them on this because this list can be expanded. Great. I mean, this can be expanded. You know, hygiene. You know, taking a bath every day. You know, I mean, there's so many things. You know, vitamins. How about that? Vitamins, guys. Vitamins. Take vitamins. Terrific. How about a balanced diet? Eating a balanced diet.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's things also that we do. There's things that we shouldn't do, isn't there? There are things we shouldn't do, right? How about junk food?
Eat it once in a while.
Yeah, sure, once in a while. I mean, you're going to have your little ice cream and some candy and cake on your birthday. You're going to right? You're going to have that stuff once in a while, but not every day, all day long. Every day you eat a Hostess Twinkie. Every day you eat an ice cream cone. Every day you eat a candy bar. Every day, you know, you eat all that junk. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, you got a tooth missing in the front from all that candy, all that sweet stuff.
Oh.
Right?
I only have 2 more teeth to pull out, and I almost pulled all the teeth.
See there? See, I hope you have a few left. Okay, so write down all the things you can do for health, like, you know, bathing every day and exercise and eating the right foods and no junk food and eat lots of fruits if you can. How about if you don't feel good? If you really don't feel good, where should you go? Well, you should go to the doctor if you really don't feel good. And what's one way to really avoid some serious health problems? Things that we should absolutely not do. That's right. That's right. Drugs.
Talk to strangers.
Well, you know what? That's a very sad thing, honey. Talking to strangers. Yeah, I mean, you know, you want to be friendly, but you know, you have to be careful. I suppose it's sad. You have to be careful. But yeah, just, make sure that you get some adults around, I guess, eh? I don't really get into that. It's an area I don't cover. Okay, we're talking about staying healthy. How about worry? How about worrying about things? Do you think worry is bad for a person?
No.
Well, actually,
Yes.
actually, worrying is very bad. Worrying is very, very bad. Worry causes people's hair to fall out.
Yeah.
Worry causes people to have stress and have heart problems. Guys, if you can't do something about it, don't worry about it. Okay? Worry about or be concerned. I would like to change the word worry to concern. Be concerned about what you can do something about. Can you guys do anything about world politics? Can you do anything about what's happening in Russia?
No.
Then don't worry about it. Can you do anything about what's happening in Washington, D.C.?
No.
Then don't worry about it. Let Mr. Tocco worry about it. Because we can vote the bums out. All right? If you can't do something about it, don't worry about it. But if you can do something about it, what do you have to do?
Worry.
Well, not worry. Go into action. Go into action. Let's say that. Go into action and say, I want to, I can, and I will. That's right, that's right. Oh, I'll tell you what, you guys are great today. Now also, you're going to have the opportunity to work on some things as it relates to friendships, about being better friends. Oh, there's so many ways to be better friends, and friendship is can be a lifelong thing. So now what you've done is you've written down some goals in the different areas, and you're going to continue to work on these things over the next 2 weeks. You're going to go home and do the things that you told Mr. Tocco you're going to do, right? You're going to go home and do these things on your own. You're going to say please and thank you and yes. It's not yeah. And you're going to smile more, huh? Guys can smile more. Good for you. It's good for the face. It exercises the muscles. Frowning takes a whole bunch of muscles. Smiling just takes a few, and it's much better for you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you'll be happier. Be more positive. Okay, guys, here we go now. Here's something very important as it relates to things you write down. When you write down goals, you must make a commitment to follow through. How many know what the word commitment means? Anyone? Would anyone like to guess what the word commitment means? What do you think it might mean? Pardon me, honey? Stay together. Stay together. Stick with your program, right? Be committed. Stick with your program. How many like to hear a joke? Want to hear a joke? All right. Does Mr. Tocco like to tell jokes?
Yes.
Spring in today too, yeah. This is a joke. This is about a chicken and a pig. Oh yeah. And one day on a street corner, there was a chicken. And the chicken was looking around, and there was a pig right next to the chicken. And they were looking across the street. And across the street there was a fundraiser going on. And a fundraiser, people were raising funds. They were getting money and food and clothing for a needy cause. Okay, because some people needed those things, right? And the chicken looked at the pig and said, well, what do you think we can give them? And the pig said, well, I don't really know what we can give them. What do you think we can give them? The chicken thought for a minute and she said, well, I know. Let's give them eggs and ham. Whoa, you understand that? The chicken wanted to give eggs, and the chicken wanted the pig to give ham.
But then the pig has to die.
Oh, and you know what the pig said? You know what the pig said? The pig said, well, that's easy for you to say. For you, that's just a donation. But for me, that's a total commitment. See? The pig had to give up his life to give ham, right? That's a total commitment. I want you, and I don't want you to give up your life by any means. I want you to give total commitment, give your whole self to these goals, to these plans, because they're your plans. they're your future. You guys have been absolutely fantastic today. I'd like you to do a quick review with Mr. Tocco. Here we go. Here we go. Let's get them going because they're going to really cook on this stuff. Guys, put your books down. Here we go. Let me ask you a question. How do you feel? What is your single greatest power?
To choose.
What is your number one ability?
To think.
Mr. Tocco's number one reason for being with you is to encourage you to seek what the Greeks call,
Amazing.
which means to become.
The best possible you compared to no one else.
In life, are there grades in the real world?
No.
If there were, A would be for.
Attitude.
And what's the best kind of attitude to have?
Positive.
Outstanding, a positive attitude. And people with a positive attitude, what do you see on their face?
Smile.
And boy, don't they say, I want to, I can, and I will. My young friends, there are no grades in the real world. If there were, E would be for.
Enthusiasm.
And what's the best way to get excited in the morning is to give yourself a.
A pep talk.
And what's the best darn pep talk you ever heard?
A Joe Gerard.
Joe Gerard. What does he say? He says, I feel good. I feel great. Look out, world. I'm coming out one more time. You betcha, yes. And my young friends, we have got to have, if we're going to go anywhere in life, we've got to have, it starts with a G.
Goals.
We have to have goals. And they have to be,
Written.
everybody together, they have to be written down. Absolutely. That is a terrific review. You guys are fantastic. And the best way to make decisions is using the statement of wisdom. Let's see if we remember that. First is a thought, which is followed by a word that leads to an action, habit, results in a destiny. Outstanding. Everybody stand. You've done so good today. Let's give ourselves a pep talk as we go out of here. Here we go. Repeat after me. My name is a Tony.
My name is a Tony.
I sell the fruit.
I sell the fruit.
And if you must, a squeeze of the fruit.
And if you must, a squeeze of the fruit.
Squeeze of the coconut.
Squeeze of the coconut.
Don't the squeeze of the bananas.
Don't squeeze of the banana.
All right, guys. Have a great week. Have a great time off. See you next week. Do your home opportunity.
Oh,
see you next week.
People owe me pencils. They're not mine. Theirs.
Woo! Oh, guys, you know what? I got good news for you. We're talking about setting goals. We're setting goals, right? Mr. Tocco has set a goal to sometime between now and the end of the semester to take you guys on a field trip. How many want to go? All right. All right. Y'all want to go on the field trip. We don't know exactly where it's going to be yet, but it's going to be cool. Are you? Oh, I love the zoo. But we're going to go on a nice field trip, so we really want you to work on all these things. So when we go, we will go as a celebration. Okay? All right, guys. Give me a good firm handshake going out of here. Do your home opportunity. Okay, see you in 2 weeks, okay? Good job today. Good job. Outstanding job. Look at those nice smiles. You guys are coming along great. My star class here. My star class. And my stars in the class. Good job. Good job today. Hey, nice job. Nice to see you. Okay, have a good day. See you in a couple weeks. You coming back? Oh, thanks, buddy. Thank you. All right. See you in a couple weeks, guy. Nice job, man. All right, good seeing you. Nice smile. Good seeing you today. Do your home opportunity now. Bye-bye. See you next 2 weeks? Okay, buddy. Good job today. They were great today. Wow.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. We got a home opportunity.
Yes.
All righty.